I have this really special poem I wrote. It's a poem that doesn't rhyme. It's very personal, but I'm going to share it with you all. So here we go. Okay. Wondering what to make with all those tomatoes that are ripening up in your garden, make a batch of homemade tomato soup. It's one of my go-to easy soup recipes because it cooks up so quickly. And the flavor, oh my, the fresh and tangy taste of this tomato soup is out of this world. Before I know it, he's got both of my hands in his vice-like grip above my head, and he's pinning me to the wall using his lips. His other hand grabs my hair and yanks down, bringing my face up, and his lips are on mine. My tongue tentatively strokes his and joins in a slow, erotic dance. OMG, I just devoured a bowl of that tomato soup. OMG. Did I mention OMG? Forget the spoon. Give me a straw. Actually, forget the straw. After a couple of tastes and then a few frantic spoonfuls, I literally put down the spoon and just drank it directly from the bowl. Yeah, I did that. I drank it from the bowl. Best tomato soup ever. Suddenly, he sits up and tugs my panties and throws them on the floor, pulling off his boxer briefs. So without further ado, let me tell you how to make homemade tomato soup like you've never ever had it before. I pull him deeper into my mouth so I can feel him at the back of my throat. And then to the front again. My tongue swirls along the end. He's my very own Christian Grey flavored popsicle. I suck harder and harder. My inner goddess is doing the merengue with some salsa moves. To a large pot, add 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 large onion sliced, and a pinch of salt. He leans down and kisses me, his fingers still moving rhythmically inside me, his thumb circling and pressing. His other hand scoops my hair off my head and holds my head in place. His tongue mirrors the actions of his fingers. Claiming me, my legs begin to stiffen as I push against his hand. He gentles his hand so I'm brought back from the brink, falling apart beneath him, but then I'm building again. I climax anew, calling out his name. Cook over medium heat until things start to sizzle, and then cover and reduce to low until your onions are soft. Stir them around now and then. You don't want to brown them. If that starts to happen, add a little water to the pot, but chances are the steam and condensation will generate enough moisture to prevent them from browning. Suddenly he grabs me, tipping me across his lap. With one smooth movement, he angles his body so my torso is resting on the bed beside him. He throws his right leg over both mine and plants his left forearm on the small of my back, holding me down so I cannot move. He places his hand on my naked behind, softly fondling me, stroking around and around with his flat palm, and then his hand is no longer there, and he hits me hard. While your onions are steaming, gather up 2 pounds of tomatoes, about 10 medium slices, 2 to 3 clove garlic sliced. We lie there, panting together, waiting for our breathing to slow. He gently strokes my hair. Boy, I survived. That wasn't so bad. I'm more stoic than I thought. The recipe didn't call for garam masala. It's a spice commonly used in Indian recipes. I chose to add it because the mouth-watering smell of the onions and tomatoes and butter all cooking together reminded me of the Indian butter chicken sauce that I make. I figured a dash of garam masala would add a nice rich flavor to the soup, and did it ever. While your onions continue to simmer, wash and core your tomatoes. 4 clean slices through the tomato, close the core is how I do it. Sitting beside me, he gently pulls my sweatpants down, up and down like a whore's drawers. My subconscious remarks bitterly. In my head, I tell her where to go. Christian squirts baby oil into his hand and then rubs my behind with careful tenderness. From makeup remover to soothing balm for a spanked ass, who would have thought it was such a versatile liquid? When all the cores have been removed, you have a heap of tomatoes that look something like this. Gorgeous, aren't they? You beguile me, Christian, completely overwhelm me. I feel like Icarus flying close to the sun. He holds out his hand, and in his palm are two shiny silver balls linked with a thick black thread. Inside me! I gasp and all the muscles deep in my belly clench. My inner goddess is doing the dance of the seven veils. Oh my, it's a curious feeling. Once they're inside me, I can really feel them. But then again, I know they're there. Oh my, I may have to keep these. They make me needy. Needy for sex. I'm not done my poem. You've gone this far, so shut up. It's my birthday. Cook all of this over medium heat, stirring once in a while until your tomatoes are well cooked and break apart easily. At the touch of leather, I quiver and gasp. He walks around me again, trailing the crop around the middle of my body. On his second circuit, he suddenly flicks the crop, and it hits me underneath my behind. Against my sex, the shock runs through me, hits me, and it's the sweetest, strangest, hedonistic feeling. My body convulses and sweet stinging bite. My nipples harden and elongate from the... Now you're going to add 1 cup of water, 1 more tablespoon of butter, and another pinch of salt. Cook for a few more minutes to melt the butter and ensure that your rice is tender. He sighs, sliding beside me, and pulls me into his arms, careful not to touch my stinging behind. We are spooning again. He kisses me softly beside my ear. Why don't you like to be touched, I whisper, staring up into soft gray eyes. Because I'm 50 years old. I'm 50 shades of fucked up, Anastasia. The woman who brought me into this world is a crack whore, Anastasia. I slip into a dazed and exhausted sleep, dreaming of a 4-year-old gray... Ugh, that's illegal, I can't read that part. I like my soup with a bit of texture. Then if you prefer yours smooth, just blend it a little longer. Then you'll want to pour it through a sieve to get any seeds out. And there you go. That's all, folks. You're ready to dive in. His arms are wrapped around me, and he's pulling me to him, hard fast, gripping my ponytail to tilt my head up, kissing me like his life depends on it. He drags the hair tie painfully out of my hair, but I don't care. He needs me for whatever reason at this point in time. And I have never felt so desired and coveted. Pull up a chair, grab a spoon or not, and enjoy a bowlful of this fantastic homemade tomato soup.